Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, I'm out in the workshop again. I got some yard stuff done. I got more things to do. I got things to put on the shelves. I'm trying to organize as I go. And I want to have these shelves be storage. Just things get put away there that hardware, bolts, nuts, screws. I've got a drill motor that doesn't go there. I want to put that drill motor over here where the drill motors go. And I can have storage there and put some things away. Let's drop some of these boards down here on this lower shelf. Try not to get sidetracked too much. There's a brace that goes across the center of that lower shelf. But I don't want to spend time putting that brace on right now. I'm going to leave just a gap there so I can get to it. Have to be careful of this knife. It's got a razor sharp edge. Good way to take a good healthy chunk out of your finger. Now this is an awkward thing to do, and I probably shouldn't be doing this. Sure, harbinger of doom, if I say that too. Yeah, if you say that it might be a problem, it's definitely guaranteed to be a problem. Small cast iron corn chiller. Now, I have a healthy array of power drills. I know, I'm the guy that has brace and bits, right? But I also have power drills. Some of these Dad gave me. But some of them I got at garage sales because people said, oh, I'll never use one with a cord on it. Well, that's fine. Please feel free to ditch them in my area. I will be happy to remove them from your project list. Well, it's not exactly like I wanted, but we're going to work through it. Good way to fall down and ruin a whole day's work. This is a motor off the Foley grinder. I have to find the relay for the starting one. Trenching tools. Now, where would you say a trenching tool went? Would it go on the shelf of the antique drills? Or would it go on the shelf with the tools? Well, I'm going to say it goes on the shelf with the tools, just because I'm doing the classic mistake of putting it where it's easy. And you know what happens when you do that? When you do something just because it's easy, you get to do it again. Okay. These are tools in every sense of the word. So they're going to go over here on the shelf with the tools. I have a really nice rack downstairs, all made up to hold hoses and vacuum tubes and nozzles and all kinds of things, but it's hanging downstairs, it's not up here. But now that I have these racks up, not 100%, I still got a shelf to put up on top up there, but I need to get 2 more uprights, or 2 more horizontal rails before I do that, because I decided I wanted to have these lower rails so I could fill them up. Choices. But I'm gaining. The table's getting emptied fairly well. I think that qualifies as hardware. Now I got an idea rattling around in my head, and I think it's a good one. But I wanted to bounce it off somebody else besides me because I'm the only one out here to talk to. When I went to Menards the other day, I saw something that I've seen 100 times, if not more. They have racks very similar to these racks, and they have various hardware bits and pieces and belts and pulleys and screws and bolts, nuts, washers, rivets, all kinds of things, stovepipe, everything on them. But in the hardware section where they have all the bolts, nuts, screws, and washers, they have some things that I think are kind of nice. It would improve my storage ability and also make things more accessible in some ways. What they did is they took panels and they hung them like a barn door from the top of the rack so that you could slide them left and right. That way you can get to the things behind them, while at the same time you can have 2 panels, one in behind the other, hanging from a track. One hangs in the back, the other one hangs in the front. Now, there's some hardware that they sell for putting up electrical equipment. One of the things that they also sell with that stuff, since it's a C-channel with a formed lip on it so that you can put can't think of the name of it, a clip clamp onto the thing and then slide it around and lock it down. Well, they also make a track roller so that you can put that track up and then roll back and forth. And I'm thinking that would be ideal. Now I'd want to have a rack, one of the tracks up on top, not all the way. I want to have the very top open so I can get to it. I don't want to have the thing up too high also, because then everything's going to be a ladder. And I'd like to be able to get to the shelves with just, I got a 3-step or 2-step step ladder over there that would be ideal for getting up onto that shelf. That's how I set the height on those shelves. But the goal is to have a 4x8 sheet of plywood, something quite large, maybe 1/2 inch thick. It could be aspenite or chipboard or pretty much anything. Depends on what I find. I found this one laying in the road when I drove into town. It was laying in the middle of Go Road. And that big piece of plywood hanging over on the wall over there, that's the other part of this. So, yeah, you can find things different places. But I'm thinking I can make a very nice place where I can put hand tools. That's the big thing I'm looking at. All the stuff I'm sitting on the shelves, they're probably never going to be anything that you would put hanging on a wall. Now, possibly. But, you know, choices are made. Things like those shovels, they could hang on one of those walls. And I could have one on that, possibly as many as 3 on each one of these. Because I've got 12 foot of shelf here. No, that leaves me only 2. I got to have a room in between them. Okay. A front one and a back one, so I'd have 4. 4 altogether. Set of 2 on the back, set of 2 on the front, hanging on those tracks, sliding back and forth. It gives me opportunity to get in and out and do things. I think that's a great idea. If you guys have some suggestions for that, I would greatly appreciate it. I also thought if I put up a library ladder that ran along this shelf, I could shove the panel out of the way, climb up the library ladder, get up onto the top shelf, not up on it, but reach up on it, and get down the larger, bulky, lightweight things. I don't want to have anything really heavy up there. The really heavy stuff can sit on the concrete floor. It's okay. But I think that would be a great way to have storage and accessibility all at once. So if you have any suggestions on that, please give me a hint down in the suggestions, and I would be happy to take your ideas. Kind of hard to believe I go through that much coffee in a year's time, but I do. And those are full of nails and screws. All the sheet metal screws that I used to put the building up, there were some left, so there's 4 of those that hold sheet metal screws for the building, just in case I need 1 or 2. And some are empty. There. Gaining. Little bit by little bit, I'm gaining. Be careful there, Dave. Don't put your finger on the trigger. There's a thought. I got that rack over there that's got drill motors on it. All I'd have to do is make some more pipe up. Some's gonna have to be larger than the rest. But I've got tools that can slide into one of those pipes. I've got drill motors and other things in boxes. If I have them out where I can see them, I'll use them when I need them. Otherwise, I'll say, well, where the heck is that thing? Does it sound like I've done that before? I have. I had someone mention that I should have somebody look at this breathing issue that I've got. Yeah, I am breathing hard. I'm also working. Probably breathing harder than I should if I was in perfect shape. I'm not in perfect shape. I'm 73 years old. And I'm moving stuff that I did when I was 20. The thing I do is I say, okay, work and build up your stamina, but don't overdo. Try and keep track of what you're up to. And only put forth the effort that you can afford. And I think I'm at a break time. And it would be good for me to sit down for a little bit and rest.
If you have any suggestions for new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.